What's going on, y'all? You already know what it is. It's Trev here. This is the Infinite Reps podcast. You know, we're dealing with the infinite expansion of the mind. Today, we're going to switch it up a little bit. I was having a conversation with my sister yesterday, and I want to discuss this idea of a paradigm shift. So we're not going to discuss a book today, but we are going to discuss as a piece of content that I've had up on my Instagram for a while. So if you go to my Instagram page and you look on the highlights, right? If you click the highlight, you'll see like this little story here. Let me turn down the brightness so you guys can see it on my phone. You'll see this little story here, right? It's just a little one-page thing. I'm gonna read it out to you real quick. But again, when we talk about the paradigm, okay, shifting the paradigm is your roadmap. I want to talk about how we kind of look at life, because me and my sister, we were having a really deep discussion yesterday. So what it says, right, on my highlight, it says, today was the absolute worst day ever. And don't try to convince me that there's something good in every day. Because when you take a closer look, this world is a pretty evil place. Even if some goodness does shine through once in a while, satisfaction and happiness don't last. It's not true that it's all in the mind and heart. Because true happiness can be obtained only if one's surroundings are good. It's not true that good exists. I'm sure you can agree that reality creates my attitude. It's all beyond my control. And you'll never in a million years hear me say that today was a good day. Okay, so this is what's on my gram, right? And the goal of this exercise, it says, now read that same statement from the bottom up. Okay? And if you read it from the bottom up, that was pretty negative the first time around. But when you read it from the bottom up, it says this: today was a good day. And you'll never in a million years hear me say that it's all beyond my control. My attitude creates the reality. I'm sure you can agree that it's not true that good exists only if one's surroundings are good. True happiness can be obtained because it's all in the heart and mind. It's not true that satisfaction and happiness don't last. Some goodness does shine through once in a while, even if the world is a pretty evil place. Because when you take a closer look, there's something good in every day. And don't try to convince me today was the absolute worst day ever. So the goal of this exercise, again, is to read this down. When you read it the first time the regular way, it's a super negative. When you read it from the bottom up, as you heard, it's a completely flip on the story. And when we talk about shifting the paradigm, it's all about how you look at life. When you look at life and you only see negative, right, you're going to get the negative. This is really pretty straightforward. But I think this is a really cool exercise. And what I want to really highlight is the second part of the highlight on my Instagram story. So again, if you go to KillerTrev12 on Instagram, if you look on my highlight, you'll see two things. You'll see the first thing is the story I'm going over with you now. And then the second thing has to do with what paradigm paralysis is. And just reading that off real quick, paradigm paralysis is the inability or refusal to see past current models of thinking. Okay. And again, I was having like a quick conversation with my sister. Usually when I do these things, I take a bunch of notes. I want to just kind of be really organic. I want to keep it short. But when we were talking about things like self-love, right? She was talking about some whether she should go back to school and getting a promotion at her job because they wanted to be a supervisor now. And what I'm trying to get at here, because the conversation got a lot deeper than just work, and a lot of the things that we discussed, without getting too specific, had to do with again, just like making a little switch in your mind to see the good in what goes on. And what I would love about this exercise, and why I had it on my gram for so long, it's been on there since like 2017. Why I've had it on there for so long is that it literally, just in the quick exercise, when you read it from top to bottom and then from bottom to top, it literally shows you how life is not about your circumstances. It's not about what happens to you. It's about how you respond to those things. Okay, so you always have a choice to how you respond to life. And I think this is a really I think it's just really powerful. Not only is this one little thing powerful, but the power is in you to control how you feel about things. Okay, and a lot of times I know myself especially, we try to drown ourselves in in different things like, you know, alcohol, weed, just to get away from these feelings, right? And one thing that I learned, one of my mentors taught me is this exercise called feel it through. Feel these feelings through. Feel all the negative emotion that goes with the heartache, the pains, the coming short on your goals, and then you shift the paradigm. You shift the paradigm. You feel it through, and you replace those negative feelings with positive thoughts. And it's really hard, and a lot of people don't want to because it is painful, right? And just to kind of keep it very short, everybody needs to get into some form of meditation, okay? Because I really didn't have any specific advice for my sister. I was just like, listen, the universe will give you the answers. You got to get into some form of meditation. This is not a commercial for, you know, any pharmacopoeia, but get into some magic mushrooms, right? Split an eighth of shrooms with somebody that you love and go see the universe. Okay, see this for what it is. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't have a PhD or anything like that. So disclaimer, this is not a commercial for mushrooms, but find a way to see the beauty in the struggle, as J. Cole would say. Okay, you got to be able to see the beauty in the struggle. And I just want to end off by reading this thing again. Again, if you go to my gram and you click my highlight, you will be able to see this. Okay, but just to read it again, okay? Today was the absolute worst day ever. And don't try to convince me that there's something good in every day, because when you take a closer look, this world is a pretty evil place. Even if some goodness does shine through once in a while, satisfaction and happiness don't last. It's not true that it's all in the mind and heart, because true happiness can be obtained only if one's surroundings are good. It's not true that good exists. I'm sure you can agree that the reality creates my attitude. It's all beyond my control. And you'll never in a million years hear me say that today was a good day. Now read from bottom to top. Today was a good day. And you'll never in a million years hear me say that it's all beyond my control. My attitude creates the reality. I'm sure you can agree that it's not true that good exists only if one's surroundings are good. True happiness can be obtained because it's all in the mind and heart. It's not true that satisfaction and happiness don't last. Some goodness does shine through once in a while, even if the world is a pretty evil place. Because when you take a closer look, there's something good in every day. And don't try to convince me that today was the absolute worst day ever. So again, just to end this off, again, this is the Infinite Reps podcast. I'm Trevor Stone, Killer Trev. I go by many names, but you can tell the size of a man by the nature of the problems that get him down, okay? If small problems get you down, if you cry over spilt milk, okay, that shows your level of character, okay? Life is not about what happens to you, it's about how you respond, okay? It's all mental, all right? And I just want to end with that. Again, like the video, subscribe to the channel, become part of future discussions, email, book recommendations. We will be getting back in some book content, but I did want to kind of go through this little idea because of this conversation I had with my sister. So you guys keep doing what you're doing. Keep expanding your mind and go back and check out previous videos.